Welcome to the day 2 of Center Stage. We kick off today by talking to a founder of one of the most disruptive hospitality companies of this decade. The year 2020 has definitely been challenging, but is the company ready for a reboot? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ritesh Agarwal, the founder and CEO of OYO. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Chetan and Phocuswright, for having me here. And I'm glad that we in the travel industry, in spite of all the challenges in front of us, continue to talk, engage, and prepare ourselves for what the world will look like.
Great. Before we kickstart, I couldn't help notice, but we're twinning today. So this interview should be fun as well. First of all, you've headlined the Phocuswright conference last few years, everything from demystifying OYO to the world, talking about new brand launches, acquisitions, but this year is obviously different. When did you realize that there was a glitch in the matrix at an overarching level and then coming down to OYO?
Yeah, look, I think 2020 for us is a very unique year. It started with me seeing towards the end of January some of the challenges, especially relating to COVID coming in from China. Initially, I felt that this was going to be a China-specific challenge. But towards the mid of March, when I started seeing challenges coming up in terms of lockdowns, both in parts of Europe as well as in Southeast Asia, I realized very quickly that this was not going to be a specific location or a specific geography challenge, and very soon it's going to impact the world at large. As soon as that happened, we had to respond with the standard crisis playbook. But the only difference was this time, the crisis had a specific element to it, which is care. We tried to respond to care in every manner possible, like that of, you may have seen free first responder nights in the United States, India, and lots of parts across the world. But then at the same time, we had to also make a bunch of tough decisions. As we looked at our business, we initially made a bunch of decisions which were reducing discretionary investments like that of M&As, marketing, G&A, and things like those. But very quickly we realized that we probably did not have a choice. And within our choices, we had bad options and less bad options. And you had to make a choice of one over the other. It's not a good situation to be in, but we had to make one of the decisions. So on April 14th, we had to announce some of the furloughs and voluntary separation programs across the world. It was probably one of the toughest times for us in the company. I remember, talking to our team members after watching Arnie Swanson's video of Marriott, who had a very heart-touching video to his employees at Marriott as he made announcements for various changes within Marriott. And I think I could help but relate that this is probably going to be one of the biggest challenges for them, but even greater for us because a lot of employees in our company joined just in the last year and a half. So it becomes a lot more challenging. We tried to
pause you there, Ritesh. Obviously, that was from a macro perspective. In India, at least, that was 1 month into the lockdown. And while you are a global company, a lot of your eggs were in India at that point. Did that have a lot of significant input into that decision at that point, or was it preparing for the worst?
So, when we saw what was happening globally, we had seen China at least for 3 months. Then we had started seeing Southeast Asia and specifically Europe, Italy, and Spain, and the outcomes that were coming up there. And, we had started seeing, of course, Latin America take some very tough decisions. What was becoming increasingly clear for us that this was not going to be a 1 month or a 2 or 3 month kind of an issue. And a lot of times, I think in situations like this, paranoia becomes extremely critical. When we spoke to our own teams, our own hotel partners and our customers, the same sense of paranoia was reflected by the entire ecosystem around ourselves. But even then, we actually did not make all the decision of furloughs in one go. we actually felt that we will wait out for some more period and keep tracking the results on a monthly basis. Now, in some places, actually, the businesses recovered quicker. And we actually brought back people from furloughs, a couple of hundred of them in some places. But on the other hand, there have been markets which actually went back by a couple of months in some of the countries across the world, and we had to make reactions in that direction. As we made these decisions, Chetan, what we realized was it was critical for us to make sure that we did the best we could for our OYOpreneurs as they were departing. So there were, of course, the straight up things that we would do, like that of the healthcare and family benefits for a substantial period of time after they left. But there was one thing that I'm glad our board and our management worked together on, which is we issued additional 1.5% of ownership for our departed employees, which meant that in the long term, no matter what value our company creates, it will continue to be shared with the OYOpreneurs who got departed. Now, that said, I think is that good enough? It's never good enough, because this is not something that should anybody of us thought was a good choice, right? It was bad choice over a less bad choice. What we tried to make is the least bad decision, and I'm very thankful for our OYOpreneurs for having supported us through this process.
So speaking of valuation, for a private company, you've had your bits of becoming transparent. You publish an annual report card. Based on your 2019 one, which you published earlier this year, you entered 2020 with some 43,000 hotels, some 50,000 vacation homes, revenue growth year over year 4.5x to 950 million. Obviously, diversified business, different brands of OYO, living, office, co-working spaces, all of those put together. Where does OYO as the holding company stand today?
Sure. I think one of the things that you hear from folks in the industry, as many of them you speak to, is that crisis brings clarity and focus. So we have endeavored right from the beginning of this year to bring clarity and focus to our business. So to begin with, in the businesses we want to be focused upon, we have said that there are two core businesses of OYO, which is our hotels and vacation homes, that we want to substantially invest our time and effort in. Both of these are large businesses with huge customer bases across the world. We would like to focus on them. In terms of geography, I think we have taken an opinion of focusing on our core 5 markets, where in 3 markets, which is India, Southeast Asia, and Northern Europe, we are market leading or market leaders in, and our hope will be to continue to expand on top of that. And in China and the United States, where we have a very good product proposition for our customers and partners, we would like to evolve that to become a leading challenger brand, which ensures that we continuously win market share, but on the back of the products and experiences we bring. Specifically,
how do you distinguish these propositions in those markets? Are they the same playbook that you follow in Northern Europe, India, Southeast Asia, or are they unique products for those markets?
So I think it's a little bit of both. It's like a hybrid, Chetan. That is, our customers across the world care about 5 things. They care about getting affordable spaces, predictable spaces, easy to book spaces, making sure that they are ubiquitous, so they have enough amount of those choices available for themselves. So these principles remain the same. But in the United States, bringing a customer price point to $50 to $75 is valuable for us. Because if you think about it, in the United States, a lot of economy brands serve customers in the price point of $90 to $150, whereas the median household income is still $60,000 for large part of the United States. So for them, the $50 to $75 price point is very valuable. In China, the 80 to 150 RMB price point is the one that is affordable, and so on and so forth. And within the hotel, what quality means and the expectations of quality as an experience could be different by geographies. And on the other hand, our partners expect a certain kind of experience, but everywhere in the world, our partners care about more income year over year. So if you're a hotel partner with us in the United States and you joined us, In 3 months after you've joined our family, your business would be up 60% year over year on the online segment, and similar amount of rise in China. So across the world, if we bring this proposition to our customers choose the brand OYO and our partners choose the brand OYO. And if we keep doing this over and over again across the world, we will continue to get this benefit. Just in these 5 markets, over the last few months, every month we've been adding 40,000 rooms across our ecosystem, even in the middle of the pandemic, demonstrating that in these times, if you're a small independent hotel, for customers to be able to easily find you and be able to easily experience you, it's hard, and hence choosing a brand probably is a better outcome. But I want to specifically talk about a brand which is OYO Townhouse. OYO Townhouse is one of our brands which in India primarily, and then of course in other parts of the world, but in other parts of the world, our brands even for the last few years have been primarily our flagship OYO Hotels brand, as well as our OYO Vacation Home brands, led with Belvilla and Dance Center and Traum Fire and Bonigan. I think specifically within OYO Townhouse in India, I'm happy to share that we currently serve 10,000 plus rooms in our services in OYO Townhouse alone, and continue to expand on top of what we call as a frontier segment with OYO Townhouse and a few other brands like those. Within that, we have definitely evolved our commercial model to be a lot more management contract and franchise fee-led, which is similar to our core business model. But the brand continues to gain a lot of customer trust and belief. In a time like now in India, when occupancies in the market are traditionally trending at 25 to 30% for the market, of course, OYO is at around on an average 40% of the pre-COVID occupancies. OYO Townhouse occupancies have been ranging between 50% to 60% in times like today in India, demonstrating clearly consumers' confidence in the brand and the experiences that OYO Townhouse represents. And our hope is we will continue to expand on this proposition with our customers, wherein every month we are adding around 5,000 new rooms into our ecosystem in our frontier segment, which also includes OYO Townhouse. So we have definitely changed our business model, but the customer proposition and the love from customers continues, and I'm very thankful for that.
So let's break that down quickly. Firstly, were there any markets that you had to withdraw out of during the pandemic as well? Or did you just have to tone down your scaling in those bits? And then I could continue on simplifying what you just said.
Yeah, I think OYO has primarily focused on making sure that we prioritize markets. However, we continue to serve customers across the world.
All right. Just to simplify what you said about different markets, different proposition, where do you see the propositions, let's say by geography, starting with the US? Would it be more OYO, townhouses, vacation homes? Where would the ball land further for you?
So look, I think at this point of time, the primary business we have in the United States is our OYO Hotels business. We have a very small vacation homes business, but our core business is our OYO Hotels, primarily in the select service and mid-market segment. And that's similar in China. That is, our business in China is also primarily the select service and mid-market hotel brands that we serve. In Europe, the primary business that we serve is vacation homes. In India, it's a healthy mix of hotels and vacation homes. And in Southeast Asia, it is again primarily our economy hotels and mid-market hotel segment.
Got it. Shifting gears to where do you see OYO goes from here onwards? Because needless to say, for a company that's raised a lot of capital from marquee investors, the painting that was put together for them, there must be changes to it going forward. So what does OYO mean to its investors now? You've also had a busy year filling up the boardroom. So there is certain expectations riding on the brand, riding on you as a founder as well.
So I think when I think about the future, Chetan, the most important thing that makes OYO survive a crisis like this and prepare for the future is the love from our customers and partners before anybody else. And within those two segments, as the COVID process hit us, we responded by becoming like an antenna, which was listening from our customers, our partners, our homeowners across the world, and we were listening to them literally every day. And we've made changes on both sides like that. On customer side, our customers said that they needed safety as they went to hotels. We partnered Unilever globally to bring those experience. Then our customers said, 30% of our customers said, well, 70% of the customers may like the sanitized stays, but 30% of us want to see it in front of our eyes. So you may have seen we launched our Sanitize Before Your Eyes campaign with one of our hotel partners, Mr. Sonu Sood in India, who's done a great job and been a UNESCO awardee recently. Then our customers said that when we go on holiday, we want to be close to a supermarket. We made information available to them, especially in Europe, about the closest supermarket to themselves. And on the hotel owner side, we brought similar technological improvements. That is due to which, from a period like that of April, where our gross margin dollars, Chetan, fell by upwards of 66% from pre-COVID levels. Around August and September, we've started recovering to 85% plus of pre-COVID levels in terms of gross margin dollars of January, which frankly is still not out of the woods yet, but it demonstrates our customer and our partner confidence. And our belief is our focus on consumer and partner is exactly what is the expectation of our investors and our board members. That is, how do we constantly listen to our customers and partners and react and do a better job as a business? We have, as you said, also strengthened our governance. Now, OYO's board is majority non-investor, non-management board. It's a board primarily led out of independents and non-executive directors like that of Steve Albright, who's our audit chair, Betsy Atkins, and Troy Alsted, all of whom joined our board before the pandemic. So we've all seen through the pandemic together. And I couldn't have been more thankful to a fantastic group of board members like those who are very experienced, are seeing boards of different natures. Betsy's on the board of Wynn Hotels and Resorts. Steve Albright's been audit chair in 12 different boards, and Troy Alsted is on the board of Levi's and Harley Davidson and various other companies. So we are constantly learning from each one of these board members and having continuous conversations, but primarily focused on saying, how do we continuously do a better job for our customers and make sure that as we come out of COVID, we come out stronger?
So we're down to the wire here. A couple of closing questions. What does OYO stand for, let's say, 2 years down the line? Because it's in a way a reboot for all of us in this industry. What changes here onwards?
So I think OYO will be much more focused to its core proposition for its hotels and homeowners. And over the next 2 years, we will increase and upgrade our proposition for our small hotel and homeowner partners in terms of the technology systems and revenue management systems to bring them more hassle-free as well as more income in the times to come.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Ritesh, for joining us.
Thank you
so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Ritesh Agarwal. Cheers.